So yeah, this big pot of red goo is me making a double batch of low sugar raspberry jam. I'm sending this out into the YouTube verse in the interest of showing you guys things that I do when I'm not out riding. I'm waiting for it to get to the boil right now. I've washed these in the dishwasher and I've put them in the oven on a low heat to keep them warm because you cannot fill the jars with hot liquid and not expect them to break. I've also got canner prepping here so that I can water bath them and seal them because I'm going to send some jam through the mail to some of my friends. Yeah, you know who you are, huh? I'll film another little clip as soon as I'm done with this. Anyway, if this kind of stuff interests you, seeing what I do when I'm not doing stuff on my bike, leave me a comment below, along with a comment of what you do when you don't ride. Keep it clean, folks. This is a kid-rated channel, okay? Okay, bye. Like I said earlier, the next step is this needs to come to a rolling boil that doesn't boil down when you stir it, which takes forever, let me tell you. I've already put in the pectin and a little bit of sugar and a little bit of butter so that it doesn't foam up too terribly. And then after it's done cooking, but before it's jarred up, I will skim the little bitty air bubbles off the top. Like, see, those are starting to form right there. I've already got a little bowl off to the side where I'll put them because they're really good on bread later. And I've got this big bunch of sugar that's going to go in after it comes to the full rolling boil I mentioned earlier. And then I'll stir that back down and let it boil for a minute. Excuse me, got a frog in my throat today. So anyway, after all of that happens, then I'll pull those jars out of the oven that I showed you earlier. I will fill them. I will wipe off the edges and make sure that they're clean. I will put fresh seals on them and jar rings. And then I will put them in the water bath canner very carefully because I don't have the hooky things over here today. I think they're at my daughter's house, but I'm going to have to order another pair. Anyway, yeah, so it's quite a process, and that's been made a little bit more difficult by the fact that apparently the pectin people were having problems with their recipes, so they just decided not to put recipes in anything, and they referred you back to their online resources. I mean, they tell you on the box how much sugar and how much fruit you need, so I went with that, and I remember the process well enough because I do this. Well, I do a lot of jam making because my friends all really enjoy it. So I do remember that part of the process. But I'm going to have to go now because things are starting to get cooking here. And I'm going to have to concentrate. Okay? Okay, back in a little bit. Okay, so this is the first batch of 7, merrily boiling away. I usually process them for 12 minutes. It seems like about the right amount of time to get a nice seal. This batch is getting ready to pop in next. Well, 7 of them anyway. And the rest of them I will just let seal on their own. But it's not as good of a seal if you don't hot water bath them. So I don't tend to give them out through the mail. I tend to just hand them to my friends and tell them to be sure to refrigerate them. But anyway, that's the next step. And stand by. Making jam is not all that difficult, but you do have to have certain amounts of equipment and some organizational skills. I made all these jars of jam, and it's easier if you make like pints and half pints, but I generally just go out and grab whatever size jars that I have, and so that's why I wind up with what I wind up with. But yeah, so not all in all, not a bad day's worth of work, huh? Now, I had to go walk Bubba. Talk to you later. Hope you've enjoyed this, and if you want to see more of this kind of stuff, be sure to leave me a comment, okay? Okay, bye.